Hello, it's Chris Hynes from Wealthi again. I hope you're all well. Today I just wanted to share a quick video with you about an opportunity that we're working on in Birmingham at the moment. And if you'd watched my video earlier this week talking about the opportunity that Birmingham presents and wanted to know a bit more about some stock that we are working on in the city, then this is the video for you. And this is a fantastic opportunity. I'm a big fan of the opportunity in Birmingham at the moment and what it presents from an investment standpoint. And as I mentioned in my video on Monday, when we're looking at these investment opportunities and understanding the criteria that we're looking to achieve, the outcome we're looking to achieve from the investment property, and this one ticks a lot of those boxes. So I'll run through this presentation that I've been passed on by the developer. Hopefully it gives you a good understanding of the site and the opportunity that is presented within this development. And if you do have any questions, as always, please feel free to flick me a message, reach out on LinkedIn, send me an email, or click on the link in this description, the video description, and there should be a book now link to my calendar, and we can organise a time to have a chat. But we'll jump straight into it now and we'll run through this development. So development itself is called Southside Residences. Now it's being developed by a group called Prosperity Development. They are a family-owned business in the UK. I'll run through their bio in a little bit, but a very reputable business. They're working on projects across the country at the moment. They aren't reliant on pre-sales to start development. The development's going to be happening regardless of whether they achieve a certain number of pre-sales. Deposits aren't used towards the development itself, so it's all funded. It's privately, independently funded. They're an independent developer and the funding's in place already. So we'll run through this. So this is a little bit about Prosperity Developments. They're established in 2007. They work on residential and mixed-use developments. They're looking for affordable quality at the heart of everything that they do. And they are dealing more so with the buy-to-let investment market. They also do work in the owner-occupier space, but there's more of a focus at the moment towards the buy-to-let opportunities. They're looking for prime city centre development sites, so they're looking to develop luxury apartments within a central location. And they also, which is quite unique to development groups, but they offer a very unique payment opportunity and plan. And I'll run through that a bit later on through this presentation as well and give you a bit of a scenario that hopefully gives you an understanding of what they can offer as well. Now, next page here. So there's 30 people within their team, and as I mentioned, they're looking to deliver quality homes for property investment purposes and make it as simple as possible. So we share a very similar trait there. The results, as you can see here, results speak for themselves with £416 million worth in a property portfolio, and invest in prosperity and change the way you live, as they say there. Now, this is a little bit more about Prosperity. So as I mentioned, they're £416 in their current portfolio. So that's including 41 build and conversion projects with GDV of over £416 million. They're on track to deliver over £1 billion worth of residential property within the next 5 years. As I mentioned, they've got a team of 30 strong and passionate individuals at the moment, and the people, the contacts within Prosperity that we deal with are on their game. They're always on top of it. They know what they're doing. They're experienced. They're educated. They're knowledgeable. Very, very good team to be working with within Prosperity Developments. And then Lamont is their arm that offer the the management side of the business. So once we've sold or once you purchase one of these units within the development, then Lamont will help you with the lettings and the management side of the property, and ensuring that you're getting the service that you want for your investment property, and essentially providing an armchair investing approach where they'll take on the responsibility of ensuring that they're handling the letting and the management of your property as well. Now, the next page. So this is the development itself. So it consists of 116 contemporary apartments in the bustling Southside, a district in central Birmingham filled with rich multicultural heritage. This renowned cultural quarter is home to some of the most talked about names in arts and theatre, including the Birmingham Royal Ballet. That's just to name one, and they've got a wide variety of bars, restaurants. You've got amenity on your doorstep, you've got retailers, you've got shops as well, like your Sainsbury's, your Co-ops, your Tesco's on your doorstep. In the area itself, you've got both innovative startups, major names in the creative industry, as I mentioned, and the retail world. Name one, you've got Selfridges not far away. Now, another great thing about this development is that you're amongst the Chinatown and the LGBT community, and that's quite an up-and-coming area at the moment. You're seeing a lot of diversification and evolving of the area, and as it mentions here, it's one of Birmingham's most exciting places to currently live and invest in. So a lot of opportunity from an investment, from a location standpoint. Sorry. This is just another render of the project. Now, this is a little bit more about the development. So as you can see, just in this bottom paragraph here, the area is currently undergoing a £9.5 million green pedestrian and cycle route improvement scheme as part of the Enterprise Zone investment plan, which will further regenerate Southside and see it become one of the most central and thriving residential neighbourhoods. So that's a massive bonus for the area as well. And we, as I touched on my video on Monday, we're looking for things, investment in infrastructure in the area, and this is just a drop in the ocean really in terms of investment into the area, as you'll see why a bit later on. But nonetheless, it's great to see that you're seeing these smaller scale projects evolving within this area of Birmingham city centre. Now, these are just a few more concepts of the space as well, and in terms of price points, and I'll mention that here as it's down on the bottom right corner, as you can see, but the one beds are starting at about the £218,000 mark, or just over that, and then for your two beds you're looking at about £296,995. And for Birmingham, and for the stock, the quality of this stock, I believe that's quite a competitive price point, and I can run through some analytics of comparables in the area if that may be of interest to you, but it really does resonate with the rest of the area and what we're seeing in terms of growth in the area, and where this price point really does sit in comparison to other comparables and new developments that are happening in the area at the moment. This is just another photo. Some of the features, so you're looking at hardwood veneer floors, custom built kitchens, integrated appliances, you're getting custom bathroom en-suites as well, and sanitary ware. So it's a very impressive project. They're throwing everything at this, and I think it's going to come out amazingly once construction's completed. Now, stretching from the steps of New Street Station along Bristol Street and around the impressive new Smithfield development, Southside is currently undergoing something of a renaissance. The relocation to Birmingham of firms such as Deutsche Bank, HSBC, Goldman Sachs has increased the number of affluential professionals making their home here. The diversity of the area's economy is supported by its reputation as a hub for creative industries and is amongst the UK's fastest growing centres for digital media venues. And as I mentioned on my video on Monday, talking about the opportunity that Birmingham presents, I mentioned a number of these businesses, so the Deutsche Bank, the HSBC, Goldman Sachs, we've seen KPMG as well, and they've all migrated up to Birmingham now, and that's great for the Birmingham market. It means that Birmingham have to be investing more money into the city. When you're attracting the likes of some of the biggest names in the world, they want to keep that city ahead of the curve. They want to invest in the city. They see the opportunity that it presents, and from an investment standpoint, you've got professionals moving up, or affluential professionals as they put in this presentation, but you've got affluential professionals moving up to Birmingham, and that's only going to increase the demand for these apartments as well. They're looking for la creme de la creme. They want the best of the best in a sense, and they can afford it, and that's going to make that the new home, the off-plan, those new build the rental demand increase due to these professionals wanting to live in something that is new and something in a central location as well. This is a stone's throw from the city centre, so having the access to the city is very, very key to them as well. Now, as I mentioned on my video on Monday, Birmingham is becoming a fast growing city. It has performed extremely well despite the pandemic. It's now beginning to recover or making a quick economic recovery from the pandemic, and as you can see here, with an annual GVA growth of 7.1% forecast for the end of 2021, which takes the total value up to £27.9 billion. And as I mentioned as well, we're seeing massive regeneration projects, and a great one that I did mention on Monday was the Smithfields Regeneration project, and that is a very, very impressive project. That's going to be a massive part in the regeneration of Birmingham, and the great thing about that project is it's literally, you can see it, you can look out your window from Southside Residences and you'll see Smithfield the Smithfield project. It's literally 200 metres down the road. You could almost throw a stone at it. So it's very, very close to where this development's going up, and that's going to add significant value to this area where Southside Residences is being developed as well. Now, HS2 is another thing to note. That's going to add significant connectivity to Birmingham and make Birmingham more of a commuter city as well. You're going to be able to work in London, for example, earn a London salary, but benefit from living in Birmingham and commuting down every day if you wish to do so. HS2 is going to drop travel times down to about 45 to 50 minutes, which makes it very, very accessible. And for those living in London, I guess that's a normal commute for a lot of us. So being able to commute from one of the other major cities in the UK to London in under 50 or under an hour, let's say, that's a significant bonus for both London and Birmingham, in fact. But it'll be interesting to see how that does evolve once completion is set to take place in beginning of 2026, from what I've seen. So we've got a couple more years ahead of us, but it's definitely on track to be going up to Birmingham. The lines are laid, development's underway, the station's under development, so that's definitely going to be happening. Now, in terms of business numbers and what's that going to do for Birmingham, they're expecting that it's going to welcome an estimated £1.5 billion to Birmingham, and it's going to create 22,000 jobs to the region as well. Now, alongside this Birmingham International Airport sits just 5 miles southeast of the city centre, with a choice of over 400 direct and one-way flights across the world. So that's massive. From memory, Manchester Airport caters for about 250 international flights. So having 400 international direct flights out of the Birmingham airport, it's really establishing itself from an international standpoint. And it wasn't too long ago when I was sitting in Dubai airport and one of the Emirates flights was flying out to Birmingham, which really, I guess, surprised me in a sense. It's not somewhere that you think people would be flying to from the Middle East and from Dubai, but it's definitely growing its international recognition, and they can cater for these international flights. And I can imagine as we continue to see the city evolve, we'll start to see the airport expand as well. Now we can move past this. This is just a little bit more about what's in the area. So as I mentioned, we've got in Birmingham, you've got the Birmingham Royal Ballet and the new Alexandra Theatre. You've got your restaurants, you've got your cafes, you've got your shops on your doorsteps, you've got your entertainment a stone's throw away, the Chinese Quarter and the LGBT community that are in that south side area. It's a very culturally rich investment area, or not investment area, but just an area in Birmingham as a whole. And you really have everything on your doorstep, and the city centre itself is really a stone's throw away as well. And I'll show you a map in a second so you get an idea in terms of location. Now, this is about a little bit more about investment and things that are happening in Birmingham at the moment. So in 2018, there was 42.8 million tourists that visited the city itself, which is huge. If now that we are slowly moving past COVID, I'm sure we'll start to see that number increase again. And with this, with the Regeneration projects and also the Commonwealth Games taking place next year, it's definitely going to boost its international recognition as well. Now, 2018, with those 42.8 million tourist visitors, that generated £7.1 billion from tourist spend in Birmingham, which is a massive number for somewhere outside of London. Now, Smithfield's Regeneration, I've mentioned that, so that's actually a bit of the site here that you can see, so over the back of here. So that's at the moment, a £1.9 billion project, and that's going to be taking place over the next 10 or so years. And then, as I mentioned, the 2022 Commonwealth Games, Birmingham's the host city. They're expecting that to reach about 1.5 billion people around the world. So once again, that's really going to boost its international recognition as an investment hub from around the world. And I'm sure we'll start to see a lot of offshore investment in the next few months or post the Commonwealth Games, because it'll really change people's perspective, I feel, on Birmingham. It's always been known as quite an industrial or working class city, but we are starting to see that evolve. We're seeing a lot of trendy conversions, old office buildings into residential properties now, and keeping a bit of that industrial feel to the city, but really modernising it and regenerating the city itself. Now, this is the map I was talking about. So the development site itself is located just here on this corner. Now, Smithfield's master plan is just here on the right hand side, so that's going to be wrapped around this pocket of land that you can see just here. Then you've got Chinatown that I mentioned, so Chinatown is a bit of a hub in Birmingham. Then the likes of your HSBC, PwC, Selfridges is over here, Goldman Sachs, they're all within the city centre, but connectivity into the city centre from Southside Residence is extremely straightforward as well. These are some of the floor plans, and I think we can move past those, but that's a little bit of a breakdown of the development itself. Now, I just wanted to show you a couple new renders that we've received from the developer. So these are looking very impressive. This is a render itself, and the quality of the render is very impressive. The finishes are going to be done to a very high level, and as you can see, it's got almost that industrial feel, keeping in line with the city itself, so retaining that cultural and that industrial element to the city within the development itself, really integrating that within the development, and these have come up fantastically. I think it looks absolutely magnificent, and really keen to see the finished product in a couple of years' time once it is all finished off. But as you can see, you've got your floor to ceiling windows here in the bedrooms, and views back over towards Birmingham itself, and the old wooden doors, the industrial feel within the apartment itself. But I really think it looks fantastic. And I did mention at the start of this video as well that I'd mention how the payment plan works, so I'll give you a bit of a run through of that here as well. So this is based on a 30% deposit and a 70% loan to value mortgage. So you pay your 5% reservation fee, which in this scenario equates to about £11,500. So you pay your 5% reservation fee, you then pay your £900 in legal conveyancing. Once that's all been agreed and contracts have been executed, you're then going to have to pay the remaining 25%. So that 25%, however, can be split across the build time. So in this case, this was sent to me at the beginning of this month. So that's going to be 30-month build time from now, and we'll structure the remaining 25%. So in this scenario, our 30% is £69,898. £69,898. We're going to split that. We're going to minus the £11,649. So that brings it down to £58,248, give or take. And we're going to split that figure across 30 months. So that equates to £1,941 split each month, split over the 30-month build time. And happy to explain that in a bit more detail, but it gives investors that don't have about £60,000, £70,000 sitting in their bank account at the moment to pay down your deposit in instalments. And I think that's a great incentive, really going to help investors get their foot in the door from an investment standpoint as well. So to summarise, and there's a couple points here that we can run through quickly. So we're in the city centre of Birmingham, one of Birmingham's most sought after postcodes. You're on the city centre's doorstep. You've got amenity on your doorstep as well. The centre's doorstep, you've got amenity on your doorstep as well. You're in the heart of the Chinese Quarter in Birmingham. Hippodrome Theatre is 0.2 miles away. Smithfield's Regeneration area is about 0.3 miles away. You've got amenity and projects and investment in infrastructure happening on your doorstep, which is extremely exciting. We have to remember we've got HS2 coming into Birmingham, and that's going to add a massive amount of value to Birmingham. Birmingham's very much a student-centric city. Population, it sits around 40% of the population is aged between the 18 and 35 years old. So really basing the growth of the future and hoping to retain a lot of these students that are in Birmingham at the moment and keep them in the city and keep them investing in the city. And I think that we're going to see a lot of potential out of Birmingham over the next few years. But I hope this has given you a good rundown of what's happening in the area, how the development will look, why we picked this investment opportunity. And if you have any questions, like always, please feel free to flick me a message. Happy to have a chat and we can go from there. But have a fantastic week and I look forward to speaking to you all soon. Thank you.